legal. Oh, and as soon as I start to talk about the legal things, we start recording this conversation. It is important to understand the way how exactly it works from the legal part to avoid any type of the misunderstanding. First of all, that need to be realized. RVA tokens is completely covered from the legal point of view instrument. It's close to any of prepaid cards or some commodity you have or able to buy on marketplaces. It means that there is no any middle opinion or double meanings. We have completely understandable location of the electricity power plant. We have a legal entity, Chervenkov Energy, that is an issuer. This legal entity is an owner of this equipment that doing a generation of electricity. And whenever we have an issue of these tokens are not connected to something abstract. This is a concrete amount of kilowatt per hour that specified by internal, first of all, technical documentation, because even when the issuer decides to make an issue on 10 years of electricity generation tokens amount, which is approximately 1 million euro, it means that these tokens will be definitely pledged by electricity inclusively based on the technical documentation. It means that this equipment is able to produce this electricity next 10 years, and there is no legally possible obstacles to make the production and selling of this electricity and make the conversion of the price on this token in the future. Then, second important part, at the first step, when first owner purchase these tokens, there is no identification. It means that the owner of these tokens could be a simple wallet, nothing else. And it means that in the moment when this owner of the tokens will decide to make a conversion, then next step plan need to be obligatory executed. Step number one, it is necessary to go through the KYC procedure. This person need to go through the identification. Then, after the KYC procedure, it need to be legal check that will be executed from the side of the legal team of producer, because it could be different situation, some sanctions or whatever, but all these restrictions need to be cleaned. It's completely normal. Then it need to be an official written notification that need to be sent at the address of a legal entity with the intention to make a conversion of these tokens into the commodity and to receive the money compensation for this. This prior notification need to be prepared in 30 days before the conversion into money form. And within the identification process, KYC process, and in this notification, a holder of this token need to provide a legal entity with all bank details for the purposes to be able to receive a compensation for this token in money form. The price we already discussed before, it could be lower or higher, but in any way, for this holder of a token, the price that could be paid for this token will never be lower than the initial payment this holder did on the first placement. It means if the token was placed with the 20 cents per one token, then it's 20 cents, not lower. For on the side of a legal entity, it means that in internal documentation, it will be relevant amount of reserves, which will be equal to the difference in the medium price and actual price in cases when this price goes down. but it's not so often situation. Then, what else important from the legal side? Taxation. It's quite important part. It is need to be announced that all the taxation questions completely on the sole discretion of the user or holder. It means that if, as the result of all these transactions, any type of tax cases arrive to the user, it will be on the side of this user only. It means that the issuer not work as the tax agent, not provide such type of the services to a user. It is important to understand. Okay, nothing about regulation if we're talking about the secondary market on these tokens. It means that before the conversion, these tokens could be sold, pledged, any type of transactions that connected to the circulation of these tokens are completely available. All right. Then, what else we need to go through? About the common metrics. 42,900 kilowatt hours per month, average price 20 euro cents per 1 kilowatt hour. Then as the block of the first monthly contract, consider January 2026, this month, with this 20 euro cents per one token or USD equivalent. But the basis will be 20 euro cents. It means that the rate between euro to USD important. It is necessary for the purposes to have all the internal accounting process completely clear. And one token equal to 1 kilowatt per hour. Then total duration 10 years or 120 months. Total energy volume 42,900 kilowatt multiply on 120 months, which is 5,148,000 of kilowatt hour. So the capitalization is equal to 1,029,600 euro for this specific size of the tokens issue. So what else we need to put attention on? In this presentation, you have an address of this first smart contract that you need to use for the purposes to check everything. Standard, it's non-upgradable ERC20 token. It means that it's completely applicable at Ethereum blockchain, Base blockchain, and etc. It is a mechanic of smart contracts fabric. It means every next month will be a February issue, March issue, etc. But what is important? Name January 2026, it's really conditional. It means that it's not directly connected to the specific concrete kilowatt hours in calendar, because the things that we need to know that everything in common will be equal to these metrics. So it will be a number of tokens with 20 euro cents per one token in common amount of 5,148,000 tokens, and these 5,148,000 tokens correspondent to relevant amount of kilowatts per hour. But it always moves in time. It could be kilowatt per hour in January or in February or whatever. It is important to understand this. Right. What else we need to put attention on? About the primary placement, secondary market, it's completely understandable. And about conversion, I already explained how it possible to be executed. Then what else? We need to remember that it is a common, a public offer that consists from the terms of use on our web page. And it's always important to be in line with all the notifications on our official channels, So in this case, please be careful to pay attention to this. About placement of these tokens on the secondary market, OTC transactions, DEXs or centralized exchanges, all these things we definitely have in a plan. But in addition to that, we have a really good, from all our team point of view, idea. It's to make a quite big initial coin offering, ICO, but step by step. We will talk about this a little bit later. Right. What else? The simple way how to explain what is real world assets tokens. This is a token that pledged by power, watt or kilowatts. This is a measure of electric power. So this is the way how to make a sales of real power. Quite simple and completely correct explanation what exactly RVA token is. And we're talking about both a real electric power and money power that you can receive because we always use electricity independently from what we are doing in current world almost all the time, except only small period of time when we are not connected, not switched to some electricity supply. We always using electricity. And because of that, this token really have a real value. And that's quite simple for understanding and for normal work. All right. So now about our WattsTap. Oh, we have Pavel here. I hear your voice, my friend.
Yes, I'm here since the beginning, my friend, but I didn't want to interrupt you because your explanation, it's always the perfect one because coming, from very educated side, according to the law, according to all of the restrictions from the legal point of view. But I also wanted to mention a couple of things in this workshop to try to simplify it a little bit, and to make it more understandable, for the because here we mixture a lots of knowledge from both industries. The electricity industry out there, which is a heavy thing, that is a knowledge that not everybody have in this sector, and on the same time, deep knowledge, in the crypto space, on the blockchain side, because we connect the offline world business, a real business, which create one of the goods that it's involved in every goods and services out there because it's electricity. And on the second half, we have a connection between this offline sector to the digital sector, but throughout specific technology, which also people, they need to have a certain understanding how this is happening. So I want to simplify and to explain exactly this connection, but I want to start like a representative of the owners, the owner, of this Chervenkov Energy company, to explain exactly how everything happened. Ivan, can I ask you just to share the screen on the presentation, on the picture from the top where we can see the full solar panel plant, if it's possible.
It is possible. Just a second.
Thank you. First of all, actually down a little bit down on the other picture. Yeah, here. Thank you. This information, it's important. Let's start from there. Here in our first smart contract, with this, I can say perpetuum mobile technology, because it's the first one on the market on the electricity side in the offline world, and also on the digital world, on the crypto side. That's the first technology and first smart contract which is ever created with this concept and in this direction. The first example of this is only 330 kilowatts per hour. What does this mean? In the electricity sector, you know that we have a different measure of electricity. Watt is the smallest one. Kilowatt is the next one. The next one, it's megawatt. The difference between this, it's exactly, these three measures is exactly 1,000 times. For example, 1 kilowatt is exactly 1,000 watts, which is the smallest measure of electricity. 1,000 kilowatts is exactly 1 megawatt. So just to start from there, here on the picture, you see 20 megawatts. This means 62 times bigger capacity than this 330 kilowatts that we start with the first smart contract. You can see here 330 kilowatts per hour. The capacity of this picture here, what you can see, it's 20 megawatts per hour, megawatt hour, which is exactly 62 times bigger than our first smart contract. Why I am explaining you this? Because our first example of this technology initiate certain amount of tokens, like the first test of this market. Why? Because now every single kilowatt token which is initiated is connected to real kilowatts installed power on the ground. What does this mean? Every single produced kilowatt per hour electricity, it's connected to these tokens. But as Ivan said, this starting to be calculated from the moment you buy these tokens. Because before that, these electricity power plants, they producing energy every time when the sun goes up. And this energy have a contract with the main electricity grid, and they pay for this electricity to the moment that it's created and it's transferred to the network and people use it. Because in the electricity sector, you have to know that if you don't have batteries, which is a storage of electricity, when electricity is produced, it's just moving. It's just moving to the next point that is going to be used or not. That's the way how the electricity function and work. So that's why Ivan said that each and every calculation which start to be calculated to your equity in circulation, which means you buy a token which is connected to the exact power on the ground, and this token is like your ownership, let's say your rentalship, of this specific equipment on the ground, and this equipment starts to work for you depend for the time period and the exact tokens that you bought. Simple as that. We cannot, for example, sell from these smart contracts more from these tokens, because the first example with this capacity, it can produce exactly approximately 5 million tokens in the next kilowatts per hour, sorry, in the next 10 years. And that's why we initiate only that amount of tokens. Where is the business here? For example, from where people they can earn money? Simple. The moment you buy this kilowatt token, this equipment starts to work for you. You buy this token now on an average price of 20 euro cents, because that's the average price of the last 5 years of the electricity price in this certain area. But how you can earn? From two sides. First side is in the end of the first year of holding of your token, you decide to cash out or to monetize. Let's call it that way, to monetize your tokens. This means that you turn back to us the tokens, of course, after this legal procedure that you need to confirm your identity and to go throughout KYC, knowledge of your customer procedure. And after that, you receiving the profit which these tokens generate in the current year. Let's say there is two chances. One of the chances is the price of the electricity and the production, because the weather and the, let's say, weather conditions were good in this particular year, and we produce more kilowatts hours per hour, and the price of electricity is higher than 20 euro cents. Then what happened? You generate a profit and you receive in your bank accounts, according to your tokens, profit. It can be 5%, it can be 10%, it can be 20%, depends from the market conditions in this particular year. That's the good chance. But there is also another possibility. We to have a bad weather, we to have not so productive weather conditions. And you, for example, produced with the capacity of the park that you own throughout this token, you produce less kilowatts than you bought. Then we, with the buffer that we have with your money, we pay back the difference to the entry point, because here we took an average price from the last 5 years, and we cannot give exact price because of the market conditions and the weather conditions. So simple two options of the first income stream of this token is that you can either be on break even to not lose money, or you can generate profit according to the year. That's the two options. From the first income stream, you can be only on plus. You cannot lose. Second one, this is from the offline. This is from the offline part of the token, because this token, it's backed with real offline business on the ground. That's why I believe this token is going to be very much the demand of this token is going to be big one, because in Bulgaria, when I'm situated, the cost of the construction costs to build up such a kind of renewable electricity project is at least 60% cheaper than Central Europe, and the production of the electricity, because of the specific geographic area, it's 20% more as efficient than Central Europe. I'm not even consider UK, which is most of the time rainy, cloudy, dark, not so much light, not only sun, but light. And this is a very, how to say, one of the best area in the world with on the production side, and one of the cheapest, like break even for the business, because we in Bulgaria, we have a law that we can produce such a kind of solar panel plants even on the agricultural land, not industrial land, but the agriculture land, which is 10 times cheaper than the industrial land. So that's why uh, investors, they prefer to come and to invest in token kilowatt, because easily they enter a business which is way better than in their places as a financial structure and financial model, let's say. I'm explaining all of this because to clarify to you why this token is going to have big demand. And I lead you to the second income stream that you can have on the secondary market. We have specific um, supply of this token. We cannot go in this smart contract more than this amount, because that's the capacity of this example. Your token, it's rare. And you know what's happening when the demand on the crypto space, it's bigger. The price of this token from 20 cent on the secondary market can go higher. And this is the second income stream for these early bird investors. And that's great. There is the business. But not only. This business here, which I explained, is with capacity of 330 kilowatts. But the technology and the concept behind can work with each and every green producer in the entire world. The only thing that he has to do is to have legal offline capacity of green power, which produce electricity, and easily he can rent and participate in this business and to back coin kilowatt. Immediately after that, with each and every contract, we initiate a new smart contract, which it's backed and covered by the capacity of this green electricity production plant or infrastructure, let's say. That's why in our first Zoom in the last day of last year, I was so excited, because here we not just present to you something which is going to work for BitTON.AI and bring utility to the game and to the BTN itself, but this technology changed the game in two industries. In the offline industry, in the green energy production, and in the crypto space, because investors in the crypto space, they want to invest in DeFi instruments, which is going to be token kilowatt, which are secure, and they know, of course, the profit on a yearly base cannot be like on the other DeFi platforms, like 30, 20, 30, 50, 100% in a year, speculative percentages. Here they will be between 15 and 22. But all of the tokens holders, they know that behind their tokens staying a real business, according to the law and backed, which and regulated by MiCA, the European regulatory organ. And this changed the game in these two industries because this example here can be multiplied according to the demand. And we have a win-win situation here because there is no producer which don't want to sell, like me, his electricity which still not produced in advance. There is no such a kind of producer of electricity that don't want to sell his product even before created it. And of course, they sell it on a, let's call it that way, price with a discount, not like a market price, average price. From the other side, the investors, they don't need to spend years of documentation, to invest millions of real money, fiat money, in infrastructure, in equipment, in everything which is related to this business. And the knowledge that we have to have, it's a lot. But in the same time, with couple of clicks, they can buy token Kilowatt and they become owners for that particular time that they bought this token of these facilities. And I will give you example with our first customers that we have from UK. They buy token Kilowatt from UK. Times more expensive there than here. And then can generate 20% more, even more than 20% as a production with very same money in this solar panel plant. And that's the win-win situation. And of course, all of these transactions, they're gonna bring utility to BTN. What's the connection? All of this is gonna be situated on our blockchain, BitTON.AI blockchain in the future. At the moment, where is the other utility? The other utility is that this capacity of this solar panel plant, it's backing the game, the first tap to earn game in the industry, which is backed with real world asset. Let me simplify. You play, you tap on your screen, and you create digital watts. As you remember, we explained that digital watt, the watt is the smallest electricity measure. And these gamers, when they reach certain level in the game and certain success in the game, they will receive, according to the amount and the level in the game of their watts tokens, they will receive kilowatt tokens, which is 1,000 times bigger than watt, correct? But these kilowatt tokens, they are connected to real world production. In translation, they receive equity in circulation, this token, which is like ownership for the certain time of this real world asset over there. And it's a huge utility, because this is not some hamster that fight with another hamsters to receive $1 or $3 in airdrop in some shitty token, which is like thin air, nothing behind him. This game here, people when they play, they know that one day they will have a token against their time spent, hours, and all of the efforts that they gave to the game. They will have token which it's connected to real business. Basically, they have a real business. And that's something unique. That's the utility. You see, Coin Kilowatt itself, it's a big business because solving a real world problem. Make easy investment in electricity, make easy transfer the profit of this electricity throughout blockchain. Second utility, this coin Kilowatt backing the first game in the gaming industry, which is huge with such a kind of real world asset. And that is something big. That's why I'm so excited. And now, because I'm not sure how good I simplifies, and I will love to simplify even better according to your question, I will open now a Q&A session that me personally, I want to answer for each and every question which is related to the existing solar plants on the ground and what's the connection with these tokens. Everything which is according to questions like for legal or technical, of course, my good friend and partner Ivan is here to support me because we cannot be experts in everything. So please, guys, it's gonna be pleasure for me to go forward with your questions.
Let me step in
Don't
with
have,
the first question, if it's possible. Can I ask a question,
sure,
Pavel?
of
Uh,
course.
because I think that the answer on this question will provide for our participants of this call maybe the most valuable information. 20 cents, that is the price right now. But
Yes,
uh, Bulgaria in the process of implementation of euro. You are saying goodbye to Lev.
yes.
Am I right? And it means
Actually,
that all the price,
we
yeah,
already did it.
yeah, but in a wholesale market, you are still working under the PPA, a long-term contracts, according to which the relevant influence on a price executed. It means that still certain period of time, half of a year, maybe till the end of current year, still old PPA contracts will be effective. But sooner or later, because of the fact that Bulgaria convert all the economic into the euro, all the prices will go up and it will
Yes,
be not 20 cents anymore. On a long-term distance, because of the fossil energy regulations in common in Europe, the prediction on a price will be on the level not less than 200 euro per megawatt. And this is
exactly.
the baseline. It means that from current level of the price, it's almost in two times more, at least.
Yeah.
And the
And
question
one more,
is, yeah, the question is, if the user buying a kilowatt token with the price 20 euro cent, but at the moment of conversion, the price on kilowatt will be in two times more, what will be the economical effect of the user?
50%.
And plus 100% actually, if it's in two
Yeah,
times more.
it's a one, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a 100%. Double,
yeah.
2x, let's say.
And will it create any damages to electricity power plant?
No, no, of course.
So I think,
Something else.
yeah, I think that this situation on the market, one of the main driver why to buy kilowatt. If you want to earn 100% almost in a predictable way, I'm not talking about my wishes or Pavel's dreams. It's a current situation on the market. It's a reform in Bulgaria that we have right now, and the predictions on a green energy prices that you can check in common sources. So that's really good
They can
motivation.
ask, they can ask even artificial intelligence what was the price the last 5 years, and they will understand from where we take this approximate pricing. Which price we start. And you said something which is completely true according to the moment in Bulgaria. But I want to mention also another thing according to this. The fundament, because let's say that I'm a technical analysis guy, but also, in the trading, there is a two kind of analysis. Um, technical analysis according to charts and charts, and fundamental analysis. Fundamental is connected to the what's happening out there, outside, in the it's offline conditions,
Market
circumstances,
environment.
market environment. Exactly. Thank you. Market environment is how it follows. With all of these data centers, growing of the artificial intelligence, let's say it's coming in our life, from everywhere. These electric the electric cars, the constantly, using of any kind of technical electronic devices, the demand of electricity nowadays growing 10 times faster than before 10 years. And this is fundamental analysis that showing the demand of electricity surpassing with times the construction of new energy sources. For example, renewable electricity from solar panel plants, from wind plants, from water plants, from nuclear plants, from heat electric centrales, and whatever, you name it. Let's say that the construction time of these energy sources cannot be with lightning power, with lightning speed. But in the same time, see what's happening with Tesla stocks. The Tesla stock skyrocketed. Tesla is one of the biggest consumer, of electricity because they create so big demand with their products of electricity that nobody else on the market. And this is also another sign what's happening with the energy demand out there. That's why I said that from the fundamental perspective, the demand of electricity grows so fast and so big that the production of electricity and the sources of electricity delaying according to the demand of electricity. And this is a simple example of supply and demand. That's why I said in my explanation in our workshop that there is two sources. One of the sources is from the real electricity price growth, in the
Hello.
real world, but
Hello.
also the demand in the digital world of these tokens, because these tokens, they're not going to be so much in circulation because they're not so much capacity of energy sources out there. So
Hello.
it's
Hello.
it's a interesting times in front of us, and I really believe that with this technology we are on the right time and on the right place to generate, because guys, the biggest businesses in the world and the biggest profits, when you look back through the years, it's when somebody brought to you the technology on the right time. The biggest earners in the golden era, let's say the golden fever, was not from these people who find the most gold, but these people who use the technology for digging. So that's why I wanted to say that people who use our technology, they will be with advantage, against others. So that's why Kilowatt token it's so attractive, let's say. And somebody will ask me. Let me now answer a question. Let's say direct question to myself from myself to myself. Let's play like you ask me this. Why, as a producer, I'm selling my capacity? It's simple. Me as a producer, I'm going to take all of the money who I will take in the 10 years period in advance. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to invest this money again in real electricity production, green electricity production, and to extend the capacity of this production, because the fundamental analysis showed me that this business, it's a good business, especially in the years in front of us with this huge electricity demand that we're going to have.
I think
And
this
of
is the
course,
most simple business explanation ever because there is nothing difficult. All right, let's let our users to ask questions because we already exceeded a little bit.
thank you for your first question, Ivan.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I can add even more. 34% in Bulgaria will be in renewable energy till the 2030s. So in next 4 years, it will be only 34%. Still only 34%. So you are in the very beginning of all this. All right. I saw that the first question was from the side of Abraham. Abraham?
Last sentence, sorry, Ivan. People from who are out of European Union,
Yes.
like residency, because we have a lot of people in our call which is not living in European Union. They don't know that in European Union, in these 27, 28 countries, we have a Green Deal. This
Yeah.
Green Deal, it's very important thing because till 3035, we need to close all of our heat electric centrals, which, let's say, damage the ecosystem, how to say it, the real environment, because there is a carbon 2 emission, CO2 emission, which is a carbon which make dirty, our
Atmosphere.
hemisphere,
Yeah,
atmosphere,
atmosphere.
think atmosphere, our atmosphere. And that's why most of the electricity production by the law from the European Union and by the pressure, from all of the regulatory organs till 3035, 2035, 2035, it's going to be green without any
Carbon neutral.
emissions.
Yeah, carbon neutral.
Carbon neutral. Exactly. So this is one more sign from the fundamental perspective, from the fundamental analysis, why this green electricity production is gonna booming.
Okay. Great. Let's go to questions. Abraham.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ivan and Pavel. Thank you so much for taking out your time. It's still the Abraham from Nigeria, and it's been a great time here. Been on the live Zoom with you, giving us this new direction of the BitTON.AI movement with respect to the solar plants implementation and the likes of the kilowatts and all of that. So straight to my question. I appreciate Mr. Pavel for helping me to answer some of the questions already through his explanation, and that has to do with every day on a daily basis, even in the church. Can you hear me?
Yes, of course,
Yeah.
loud and clear.
Okay. Even in the church, even at home, whether I'm in the market, whether I'm in anywhere, I preach BitTON.AI. I preach BitTON.AI. I try whatever it takes for me to, push this ecosystem out to the world is what I'm presently doing. Facebook, everywhere I'm doing it. Now, we are having, even today, I have some youth of my estate that came around and I signed them up and supported them the way I should in my own capacity to make sure BitTON.AI go out to the world. And I make sure that they follow all of our social media platform and understand. Even I invited some of them into this group call right now. And why am I saying all of this? Is not to tell the house that I'm doing work or something there also, but you see, many of them, they are coming with they are novice to what BitTON.AI is all about. And the few things we were able to tell them about the BitTON.AI is what the movement of the phase 1 and possibly part of the phase 2 has been all about. Since the up to the seed phase, right? Since the WattsTap has not been, kicked out rolling yet. So what we tell them before this time about BitTON.AI is, come, there is a token right now that is similar to that of Bitcoin, 21 million total supply that will ever exist. Come and participate right now because the price is still affordable. You need to join the moving train right now and belong to the ecosystem. Join the live Zoom call, understand what it is all about, and do your best to have this as one of your investment to run with through the year 2026 and above. And the goal is not for you to come and invest and pull out your money like a pyramid or a Ponzi scheme. This is what has vision. This is what it's a life-changing opportunity where we come to understand what it's all about. So now, this is just basically the knowledge we've pushed out to the people. Now, we've not been able to confidently tell them about the WattsTap, and now we are on the kilowatts. Initially, I complained the other time. I made a kind of little complaint the other time on the Zoom call to Mr. Ivan concerning the rollout. Thank God for the customer support. I was able to reach out to call. I would have been scammed because of the workshop we had in the early last month, that is of December last year. We had some workshop where we were anticipating the website to be out. We're anticipating the BitTON website to be out so that the issue of this bridging will be resolved. I had my token locked up and all of that. And so the issue of this bridging to be resolved. And so, but we have someone in the chat, BitTON chat on Telegram. It's a group where we have over 2,000 people who love BitTON.AI, who are coming into BitTON.AI, and someone there acting as an admin. Of course, there are several warnings, but acting as an admin and selling it out to the people out there that the BitTON.AI has launched their website and is using that opportunity to scam a lot of persons concerning the bridging, concerning the P2P, concerning all. So I decided to chat the customer care support concerning this, and he told me that that is a scam. You see, now why am I bringing all of this up? I would that I don't know. I know you people are really trying, but if you will pick up a particular focus on the ecosystem and we drive it to the end before we pick up the next one. The first we talked about the website, and now the website is not out. The WattsTap followed, and now the WattsTap is not yet out, and now the Kilowatt, the panel project is already coming up. So where are we focusing in this early part of the year? What are we expecting? What should be out, and when should it be out? Because we are still getting investors coming in, but we don't know what to tell them, where to believe, if the bridging is working, if the website is out, if the WattsTap is now working, if the solar panel plant is up. So we really want to have because we are also organizing our meeting. We are organizing Zoom. We are organizing WhatsApp call. We are organizing. So questions like this are coming up. We want to know where we belong, what is already working since the last time we are trying to move from the TON blockchain to the base network. So I don't know if my questions are very, correct or straightforward, but I believe you can understand what I'm trying to say. So you help me from there. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Aram, for this number of questions. Actually, it's not only one, and I'd like to answer on all of these questions, but I will start from one memories. 12 years ago, I spent almost 9 months of my life in Nigeria. 6 months in Abuja, and the rest of the time in Lagos. And I do remember in Abuja one interesting picture. It's night, completely dark because of the lack of electricity, and really, really big buildings around which you have a huge number of diesel generators, diesel electricity generators. At that time, I was in a project related to the Ministry of Power in Nigeria. I think you definitely know what this ministry is about. And I asked, guys, one of the most amazing and completely not understandable for me thing in Nigeria, why the country with so big solar capacity still have some problems with the electricity, need to use diesel generators having so much sun. It's sorry, but it's true. Northern part of Africa, one of the best places for the green energy generation, because of the lack of organization, because of the lack of initiative, and because of different administrative obstacles, etc. Nigeria is a huge country, one of the biggest in the world in terms of population. And to organize there such type of the things like we are doing in BitTON AI, even this small part of all the concept, a solution how to make an initialization of the solar power plant building, may solve all the needs in electricity in Nigeria ever. One guy in Nigeria that managed to solve the problem with the building materials became a billionaire. Because of the simple thing, he managed to find out that Lagos growth 40% year to year, and because of that, all the building materials for the building of new houses will be really important and valuable. I think right now we are almost on the same level, because the future of the renewable energy much more clearer than the future of any type of other type of energy, and the way how to build this faster and faster, it's just a matter of time. So the question is, why we trying to accumulate people, why we are asking for attention from the side of the people? We asking them to start thinking about the future now, because the only way how to become to the better future, it's to start making this future better now, today. Okay, I understand that it's all something that on a long-term distance and probably really good understandable for Nigerian people, but cannot be at the same level understandable for any others. But whenever we're talking about the best profit you can receive ever, it's not at the moment when something became costly. When Bitcoin was 10 cents, that was the time when you need to buy this. When it was $1, that was the time when you need to buy this. When BTN costs $1 3 cents, that's the time when you need to buy BTN and to hold. Buy and hold. Then WattsTap and Kilowatt, it's not a misfocus. It's not a misfocus because we firstly mentioned this. It was in May 2025. It was almost next month after the launch of the project. We always repeated, guys, it will be two big collaborations. One, WattsTap as the game, and this is a gate, an easy way how to jump into the story to become a part of a huge community, 50,000 of people. It's a really big community. It's great. It's a huge success from my point of view. But Nigerian people will understand me. 50,000 people in terms of Nigerian population, it's almost nothing because they have almost 300 million of people. 300 million. In our case, if we have easy access, not in my language, but easy access, gaming access for new users, this is the best way how to create a population. And it will be a driver of a huge financial success for everybody as well. But when you need to start this community before this game will be 100% applicable and available for everybody. It will be this month. But before it is so, take participation in a focus group. It works. Take participation in BTN Foundation. Hon-chan, thank you very much. Jackie, I see you here as well. Thank you very much for all these efforts. It works. All these things works. We have a lot of internal things that need to be solved, but in common, all the project continuing development according to plan. We passed through the seed stage effectively. We did all the key parts. What was the target for the seed stage? To create a community, to create a big number of our native token holders. And we did it. We have 50,000 of users. We have a huge number of BTN token holders. What is the targets for the foundation stage? To convert all these efforts that were mostly concentrated on the building the community into something that people can feel, can touch, can understand. And WattsTap game, this is the best way, because all these things about the blockchain, it's difficult. One of the biggest problem of the blockchain, because it's not possible to be pictured. But when you're talking about the game, it is possible because you open the game, you see a beautiful interface, you touch the screen, you earn watts, you tapping and receiving this program. It's simple thing. This is a mechanic that could be understandable even for kids. And if it is so, it means that we have a really good instrument. But the difference between you, who is staying in the very beginning of all this story, and all the next people that came later, in one important fact: you are in a winning position because you do understand why it's all about. What exactly we are building in BitTON.AI? We are building the best blockchain ever. AI governed with a massive adoption. For the purposes to have massive adoption, big number of users, we need to have WattsTap as an example. We need to have Kilowatt as an example, how everything needs to be organized. We need to have a huge number of validators, big community, and really good competitive solutions. We always providing with the competitive solutions. Kilowatt token, even now, on a simple mathematical level, without any additional investigations, it's in a short period of time X's. You can convert kilowatt in 2 times more value based on the electricity generation. What we need for the purposes to provide user with this value? Nothing. Just raise up our hands and nothing else, because sun will do this work for us, and it will be all the time. And the main target is to increase amount of solar sources of energy supply, conversion of this energy into money, delivering this money to our users that are owner of kilowatts, implement kilowatts into WattsTap gaming logic, implement kilowatts into BTN utility logic, implement all these things together into our blockchain to show to another owners of solar power plants, probably in Nigeria as well, how it's easy to install this solar power plant and not to be connected or related to the regulations from the side of authority, but to be completely sure that if you have an electricity generation capacity, if you are able to build there a data center, medium size, we are not talking about the huge size, we are talking about simple things. And if you have a communication equipment like this Elon Musk solution, Starlink, you have a monetization way, a blockchain that could make a monetization of your electricity via kilowatts, via usage in our circulation of a BTN. We may convert this into the gas fee, and it's the common complete circle. This is a simple universe. We need to stop waiting for something good that may arrive to us from the future, because nobody in this world really care about our future. We are the only who are responsible for that. Governments, they look at them. Look at these governments. They are not thinking even about simple people. And I think that Nigerian people will understand me more than anybody else. Even in European Union, everybody care about what will be the decision of Trump, what will be from the side of Russia, Putin, and all this war. We are in front of the war. But will it be a bad or good for us? Independently from all these decisions and changes in the world, this situation, even now in situation, will be good. But if it will be worse from the logistic point of view, the situation with BitTON.AI will be better because we have a sources of data center, we have a sources of the electricity generation from the sun, and we have an example and concept how to build this in every point in the world and to create a generation of money from this place. And we are not stoppable, unstoppable, and we will do this. That's it. This is the way how to explain to people. If you came here into BitTON.AI in January, if you jump into any of our position, you are in a correct place in correct time. And couple more words about Ton and Telegram. Pavel and all our team knows that we a little bit crazy about future changes prognosis and development. And we always tightly talk to our community. And Pavel can confirm it was in June last year when we start discussion about the future of Telegram. And future of Telegram was strange, like in Forrest Gump movie, different. your son is different. So we understand that Telegram quite good messenger, Ton blockchain good blockchain. We know how to make it better. But Telegram, it's a beginning, and we need to go from Telegram. First bell was when Pavel Duro was arrested in France. Second bell was a couple of days ago. Telegram, first time in their life, were not able to maintain their bonds. And this is just the beginning. We were ready for that. We were ready for that. And we will continue our development in the way in which we will be 100% decentralized, diversified, and independent from anybody else in this world. It's not so easy, but it's completely understandable and fruitful. So that's the direction that we need to keep in mind. Okay, let's
And
let's not.
one more
Yeah,
thing.
please.
One more thing. I want to be completely honest. They try to limit us to work only exclusively only in their chain. This
To
can't
be a
happen.
box on their backyard. Let's go in this way. To be a box on their backyard, and it's too small for us.
We're building freedom here. We cannot be pledged on just one place. So that's also from my way of answering this. And I completely agree with Ivan. That's why we were start preparing long period of time ago. So in the middle or in the ninth of Ivan, that is in your area of knowledge. In the middle of the month, we're gonna have our web up and running. So
Yep, yep,
we
yep.
will be even more prepared than we are at the moment. So this
9th,
is very good perspective.
9th of January, we will have internal check, the final test of this, and if everything is okay, in the middle of January, we will have completely new web app. Guys, I think that let's take
Let's go
one
to the next
question.
question. Let's
Yeah,
go to the next question because we have from one friend of mine from Canada a very interesting question. I thought that I answered this, but I will repeat, no problem. Can you please tell us in which way BTN is used in WattsTap game? Easy. I said it in my speech. When you play WattsTap game, you generate watts, digital watts. The best players, when you reach certain level in certain generated watts tokens, you convert these watts tokens according to your level to kilowatt token, which is real world asset backed. So the price of your game, it's kilowatt. That's the connection. Simple as that. The players, the price of these players, it's real world asset. And
But let me add important comment to this. 10,000 of watts means 1 kilowatts. In WattsTap, it will not be the same logic. For the purposes to receive kilowatts, it will be not enough to have 1,000 of watts.
Ivan, that's why I said watts plus the level and your results in the game. So both, we have either or. Actually, sorry, not either or, but both. We have two conditions. So number of watts and also reach certain levels into the game.
Yeah.
Of course, the price is for the winners, correct? So
Yeah,
and
that's completely correct.
let's continue with the question: how do the players cash their profit or swap to BTN or other coins?
On the
Easy.
BTN.
What you said, Ivan?
Sorry, it was spoiler from my side.
Okay. Very easy. When you receive your kilowatt token, we already explained in this Zoom how you can cash out against electricity or to sell if you want to somebody else. But this kilowatt token, it's a cash out of your game because it's have a lots of value as a token. BTN, you can easily swap in in Uniswap and many other networks in the future, near future. So as I said, no problems with monetization. Next question. We answer to this one.
I think it will be great to let ask one question from the raised hand. I see that Natasha Ross was a long time with the hands up, and to finish our call because we already exceed our time. Friend Natasha Ross, please unmute yourself.
Hello to all, and thank you, Ivan and Pavo. Yeah, I got one question because not all are indeed from the European Union, so they don't know about the green deals and the carbon footprints and everything. But my question has to do about that because we have now one solar power plant up, and for now there's like a limit on coins. But when they are going to be on the market, are we as persons able to stack them, or will there be a limit a person to buy for? Because at the moment, there's only a cap.
They are already on the market, they're issued, and easily throughout OTC deal, just the buyers, they have to send to us their wallet address where to send these tokens.
We will do soon a prospectus of these tokens publishing. Right now, we checking with the legal team last questions. It's let's say in this way, minor questions that necessary for the purposes to be 100% clear. You are from European Union, you do understand. What does it mean to establish a full-size public offer? It's a 100,000 small steps that need to be included into all this paperwork, but we are on the final stage. Soon we will be able with the prospectus. A question about staking and any other type of tiding of the it's a really interesting idea, and I can repeat one more time, maybe it's 100 times. I'm happy to have so active and so involved community, because on the initial stage it was completely enough to work out an RVA token and to solve all the questions related to the connection between the real world money circulation and tokenization of this money, or potential to be converted into this real money circulation. But if we will add special instruments like staking, maybe it will be some type of the cliff, and some type of the vesting program as well for long-term solutions. It always will be something that will push the price and the economical effect in the end of this process into the higher level. Right now, we will be honest, we don't have these plans, but we understand that we will work out these plans immediately after the start. This is a part of the prospectus and ICO of these tokens. And one more important thing, this is only, and that's the thing that people probably not understand and not realize in a proper way, we're talking about only 330 kilowatts capacity, which is small part of only one solar power plant. And this is a small part of one solar power plant. So the capacity in common of this issue really big. We just need to make a correct placement.
Exactly. And I can say 62 times exactly, it's more the capacity in hours plants. And another answer to you, Natasha, many times, thank you thank you to your question, because this is lead me again to say once more, as always, when I'm speaking in our official presentations, I said that the potential of this watts token, kilowatt token, it's so big that we're gonna build up an entire DeFi ecosystem around it, with all of the DeFi instruments related to these tokens. But this is a future tense, you know. Just wanted to say to you that in my vision, in my perspective, this is in our to-do list from the first day when we create this concept and this idea. But we cannot, you know, deliver everything on the same time. You know, we're building something real. Many times I said we're not just a project or some MLM experiment. We're a movement, you know, an entire ecosystem that is going to continue growing. But yeah, one of our uh, main goals is we, on top of BitTON.AI blockchain, we to have our own no DeFi ecosystem around these two projects. Is there any other questions? If it's okay, so I believe hour and a half, it's a good timing, you know, in this workshop. We always have to stick, you know, also to the correct timing. Thank you for everybody, for your interest, you know, for your participation. I want to wish you, because this is our first connection with you in the first in the first week of the new year. I want to wish everybody one very healthy and successful new year. See you in Thursday. Welcome, waiting all of you in our official presentation. Bye
Thank
bye
you all.
from my side.
Bye. Bye, everybody.